Welcome everybody back to the After Hours podcast with I'm just gonna do everyone's names: Rochelle, Bram, and Justin and Riley.
Hi guys.
Um, yeah, this was I guess my set of movies to pick. It was kind of like around the theme of older, not older, but classic superhero movies, not really your traditional superhero movies. Our choices were The Rocketeer, Darkman, and the choice we ended up going with, thanks to you, the voters and the listeners out there, out on our Instagram, we went with The Crow, 1994 film, directed by Alex Proyas. Yeah, this movie is basic concept. A man is brutally murdered and comes back to life to avenge his loved one and kill the people that killed him. Very metal. This was a very metal, like gothic movie, and it had a lot of personality to it. That's my opening. That's my intro. Thanks for joining us. I'm handing the phone to other people. What did you guys think?
Thought it was metal.
Nice.
Yeah. I enjoyed it. First impressions, I enjoyed it. It definitely shows its age a little bit now, but
Generation wise, absolutely.
yeah, just, I mean, effects wise and whatnot.
Oh yeah.
But I think for what they had, it was pretty cool. Like the miniature sets that they would fly around in, kind of thought that was really neat. The first time we saw it, I was kind of shocked, I suppose.
Yeah.
But no, I thought it was fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Good. I mean, it definitely was a fun movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like definitely, like, don't get me wrong, definitely a fun movie. Riley, what did you think?
What was the year this was shot in?
94.
94. Okay. So it was a year before I was born.
Really?
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
That's old. Just kidding. Kind of old. I thought it was okay. The parts that really pulled me out of the movie, like one specific area, was honestly the dialogue and just the acting. Some lines were just so weird and strangely felt forced. It also felt like there was like moments where like it didn't have any like natural sort of sense when it came to like having a conversation. So it was honestly kind of hard to watch. It was like a pretty fun movie, I would say, in regards to just like everything that happened, and it did really have that kind of like anarchy badassery sort of
Oh yeah.
undertones. So I really did like that for sure. It just really was just like some of the lines of dialogue I was like, no, why did you say that? Like, I don't even want to say some of the things that they said because it just like sounds so bad, but
It was funny though. Honestly, it made it more
was.
fun to like watch and listen because you're like,
Yeah.
who would say that?
I know, but they're like, it's weird because it's like they're taking it so seriously, and it's like,
It's
how
true.
could you just like not be like, dude, why am I saying this to this guy? Like, I would just question that if I were the actors and be like, this makes no sense. Like, no person would just randomly say this stuff.
But it fit in the world.
You think so?
I think so.
You
know
Like, I
what's
think
funny?
I think the world was like this weird Tim Burton-esque city that is just high rises made of brick, you know? And the characters are all these like weird criminals that's just the way they talk. They're all insane. Like the fire up, fire up, fire up, fire up. Like it was just weird. And I think I don't think it took itself that seriously in that everyone was weird. Another one of those movies where everyone is just like a weird character.
Yeah, I did feel like it definitely had the Tim Burton-esque feel, like especially when you see that miniature world at the beginning, or like the mini scale meant to look like a bigger scale world. But yeah, honestly, you know what's so funny is, Bram, you may like agree to disagree, but I had moments where I felt like I was like, it was almost like the room dialogue a little bit, where it was like the movie where it would just like throw in random bits and be like, oh, hi, Mark. Like, it felt like that to me. And even the guy who was like the main villain, he even looked like Tommy Wiseau. I found a little bit as well.
Just the hair.
It was like the hair and the face. So for me, I was like, I felt like it was like there was little aspects of the room that were being pulled into this movie.
Honestly, I don't disagree with that, but I also liked it for that. Just like
Well, you
just
like the
why you like
room,
the yeah,
so.
but it almost the lines of dialogue to me that felt off were the couple lines where like for some reason a cop was just like, "Oh crap." I was like, that just sounds wrong in this world,
No,
in
I
this
think
setting.
he was like, "Oh, what the crap."
Yeah, it was
I know
kind of
it
weird.
was.
What
yeah.
the
like-
crap?
Yeah, like no
And
one
like
says
random.
Yeah, everyone else is
Bird.
like cussing off their
Yeah.
their ass off, and he's just like, "Oh crap!" Like that felt weird to me, and
Yeah.
it like that's why I think the dialogue worked. Is like the dialogue that felt like more normal felt off in this movie. I don't know.
Rochelle, what did you think of the movie?
that. I don't know. It was okay. I didn't really care for it, honestly.
Shame.
Yeah. I mean, personal taste, preference, I suppose. Yeah, there was definitely some moments, I guess it would be because of the age of the film, that were funny, I suppose. Probably weren't meant to be, but like watching it was kind of entertaining. But yeah, it was all right. I'm not gonna watch it again.
Well, that's a shame. I'm gonna be honest. The drop in frames and the random freeze frames were
Yeah.
very entertaining to me because when it happened, it was just like completely out of left field, and I was like, okay.
We've been watching a lot of movies with random freeze frames.
Yeah, what was that one movie that had like the most random freeze frame?
It was
Chunking
the
Express.
yeah.
Yeah, that was. Oh yeah, that was.
And so did
funny.
Mandy.
Yeah, Mandy did. That was the one I was thinking. Mandy.
And Mandy had like a 4-second or 5-second freeze frame.
Yeah,
yeah,
so
that's right.
random.
I love sitting there when the freeze frame happens, and like when the first time you see, it, you're like, whoa, but then when it keeps going, you're like, whoa,
We're still here.
We're still frozen.
It's kind of weird, but I kind of want to do it in like a project.
Yeah, I really
just
want to
do it.
throw it in and just have everyone's reactions of being like, "Oh
And have
my
it just
god!"
sit there. Yeah.
That's the favorite.
Yeah.
That's my favorite part of filmmaking is just like you do an edit and you're kind of like, this is dumb,
But I like.
but I like it. Yeah, I think this movie had a lot of character to it. It's I guess the very grungy, dark sort of environment, and then of course our protagonist being very heavy metal inspired. Funny enough, I gradually liked his like character design more and more as it kept going. Initially he had like an athletic shirt on and the makeup, and then he got a big coat, and at the very end he has like ditched the coat, and then he was covered in electrical tape. I don't know, for some reason I really, really liked it. Let's talk about the crow for a second. I'm not talking about the movie. I'm not talking about the main character here. I'm talking about the bird. That was a very good bird. That was
Yeah.
a very well-trained bird.
Not a crow, by the way. Actually, it was a raven.
Yeah,
Because
it was pretty big.
Mm.
Crows are like, I guess, apparently known to be very aggressive. So they used 5 ravens during
Wow.
filming of this.
I was really impressed. There was just that one shot of just the raven just chilling on his shoulder as he was walking down the street. I was
Yeah.
just like, okay, that's
Well,
a real bird.
Crows and raven, like they're both the same family of bird, but like they're both like extremely smart. Like they're some of the smartest animals on earth.
Yeah, they just said that the raven is more trainable.
Yeah.
It's like actually
Interesting.
more compatible with like humans, I guess, or can tolerate humans more.
Cool.
So
Mhm.
crows are like, frick that. Like, no.
Yeah.
Give me my trash, bro.
Yeah, man. Parts of this movie that I really liked was the I guess I think the whole pawn shop sequence was very entertaining. Of course, him exploding it and being in the blaze.
And then not being burned.
And then not being burned. I had to like go through it frame by frame to see if that was a real person standing there. I don't think it was, but the
Couldn't have been.
the pawn shop owner just constantly saying shit on me was a little weird. The first time he said it, because he pulled out the crow pulled out a shotgun and aimed it at him. He said shit on me, and then he like had his back up against the wall, and then he just kept saying shit
Not
on
the
me.
crow, but the guy.
Yeah, the other guy.
Can you
Yeah,
imagine the crow like, "Crow!"
it was pretty funny. I actually really liked the Crow's performance, if that makes sense. I actually liked it a
He
lot.
should have won an Oscar.
He had some sort of like, Heath Ledger Joker things going on a little bit, the hopping on the table and going like cross-legged, and even just like him just like winking at the guy and then just dipping out the window. I don't know, just for some reason it had personality to it. I liked it. Even the end sequence too, like the end fight at the church was like, oh my god, it was like tuned up to 11. Our protagonist, or I guess our buddy cop, shows up with a 6-shooter revolver. There were some weird guns
Yeah.
in this movie,
Yeah.
but 6-shooter flare gun revolver, that was unexpected. And then it was just like they were shooting so much left and right that I just could not keep up with like who was who and who was shooting at who, and I was like, dude.
And then they just used the same like gun sound effect too. It was like gun sound effect 4 on repeat.
But don't worry, a couple guns went empty, so they used that sound effect too.
Dude,
But
what?
but never the crow's gun.
No.
The character the crow. The actual crow never shot a gun. The character the crow. There was a scene when he goes into like this like bad guy mafia meeting.
Yeah,
And starts-
in the trash building, the building that's labeled trash.
Yeah, and they all start like just firing at him, and he's like, I guess he is getting hit because he just heals, but he's like shooting these 2 guns like non-stop, and the other guys are shooting at him, and they're all running out of ammo, but he's just still like firing his 2 guns, and it's the same sound effect.
I feel like they did like 5 different cuts of him shooting those same 2 guns, and then he threw them away, and then he was like, and then I'm back at it again, and he was
yeah.
like,
More guns.
more
Bang, bang, bang,
guns,
bang, yeah,
infinite ammo, let's
was great.
go.
I loved it.
Yeah, it was just like 90s cheese. Like it just really screamed that era, which is great. You had the grunginess, you had the nightclubs and the metal, and then of course the Crow has a guitar and he's just randomly playing a guitar on the roof just because, why not? It definitely had that sort of aesthetic to it, which was pretty fun. I actually I did dig the aesthetic quite a bit. But yeah, some of the acting, some of the writing, some of the editorial filmmaking choices. Yeah.
Yeah, when we saw the Crow Vision POV,
With like the
we all
warping of
were
the
like,
image.
whoa! And then we were like, I kind of like it.
I think the concept of the crow is pretty cool. He can see through the eyes of the crow. In the final confrontation though, when they shoot the wing of the actual bird crow, and then the protagonist gets shot, he's like, oh fuck. He just falls on the ground. I thought that was funny.
It's revealed that the crow is like his link to the living world. So if the crow dies, then he'll die. So once the crow gets injured, he gets injured. Well,
Yeah.
he gets shot and then he gets injured. But
And then he becomes mortal, I guess.
yeah,
Something like that.
Yeah.
And the girl knew the whole time.
Yeah.
Okay, that
He
was
had intuition.
Yeah.
the,
I think it was
Interesting
because of her
character.
lipstick.
Ah, yeah.
It's like
Her
magical powers.
hugely
Yeah.
overdrawn lips.
Makeup was horrible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was so bad.
but she got a deserving death. She got her eyes pecked out by the crow, the bird,
then-
the crow,
Fell to her death
and
Yeah.
then fell
in the
down.
bell tower.
After ringing the church bell.
Yeah. Very deserved death. She was weird.
Definitely a weird
Did not-
character.
Did not jive with her. I thought she was kind of cool. Her and the main kind of bad guy. I thought they were kind of cool, but just weird.
I
love
wanted
it.
more, like, I thought there would honestly be a bit more fight sequences.
Hmm.
I was really expecting, like, maybe this is just me not knowing, like, what he specializes in, but obviously he's the son of Bruce Lee, so I kind of, like, I think I was starting to imagine more, like, a bit more martial arts. And don't get me wrong, the dude's ripped, and there were some stunts and a lot of gun action, but I was kind of imagining a bit more, like,
Hand-to-hand, physical.
hand-to-hand
Okay.
combat. And even when he had the sword, I thought there was gonna be like this crazy sword sequence or something.
Mm-hmm.
And it was pretty much just like stab, oh.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that was a little too bad. But
It was much more Western style action sequences as opposed to like martial arts style action sequences. Lots of cuts.
Oh yeah.
Many cuts.
And
Yeah.
flashes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, gun flashes.
and don't forget
lightning
about the
flashes.
rain, guys.
Oh,
Like it almost felt like a cyberpunk type movie, just without the like cyberpunk, you know?
Well, it felt
Like the whole
very-
aesthetic felt
I
like
thought it felt
grungy
very
and
noir, honestly.
yeah.
'Cause it
Yeah.
had a
harsh
very-
shadows and stuff.
Yeah. And it was just like this, like smoke and the rain, and for some reason he was just like steaming.
Yeah, he was hot.
He's hot.
He did a lot before doing the take.
Yeah,
you know,
they're like, we need you to be super steamy, and he's like, okay. He's like, you're the first scene with you coming out of the grave is gonna be with your shirt off, so we need you to be really hot.
Yeah. It was yeah. The final like fight sequence between him and the main baddie was cool too, because he like ripped like a stake or something off the top of a church and
It was
started
the top of a like steeple, wasn't it?
yeah, and
And
he
it-
started using it as like
But
a
didn't
sword.
it like the lightning bolt hit it?
That just added more cool effect to it. He grabbed it, and then the lightning bolt struck it, and then he ripped it off,
And he was
screaming.
like, oh.
It was great.
It was so cool. Yeah, and then he, took out the main baddie by infusing his memory of his dead girlfriend dying on the hospital bed, and then he fell off and then got impaled by a gargoyle, and then his blood started pouring out of the gargoyle's mouth. We only saw like 2 seconds of it, and I wanted to see more. It was so metal. It was so cool.
Yeah.
Man, I'm trying to think of all the things that happened in this movie.
I think there was a part in there when our main cop character is in his house in his underwear walking around and he's got his police hat on still, and then the crow shows up, and I made a comment of it. I was like, why is he wearing his hat still? And the crow shows up and the officer kind of freaks out, and then like the crow's first words are like, you're still wearing your hat. And then he's like, oh yeah, and just takes it off. But I was like, somebody wrote that and put that, and that went through the writing process, that went through the like the acting process. The director had to go look at that and go like, yeah, that works for this movie. Like, and that was the moment that I was like, okay, anything goes in this movie. Like they didn't give like, that's just like, why put that in the movie? I don't know, because it's kind of funny like that, and I love that.
Bremen, every scene has a purpose, and that had a purpose. And the purpose was he needed to take his hat off.
Maybe it was him going vigilante with, maybe actually, because after that scene he never wears his hat again, and he kind of goes rogue and helps the crow. That was his transformation into being like a vigilante, no longer a cop.
So you're saying that this massive transition for this police officer was from a dialogue saying, your hat's still on, and he goes, oh yeah, I guess it is.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Wow.
Wow.
That's
so deep.
I felt it. I really felt it deep in here.
Yeah.
Just especially emotional performance from that. Yeah.
Film analysis you just brought on here. It
Can you
blew my
explain
mind.
though the basketball and trombone on this couch?
What was that?
Yeah.
Like just chilling on the couch there? I just didn't quite
I
understand
could,
that
but I'd
part.
probably be canceled.
Is this your wife? Well, yeah, my wife and I are getting a divorce. Is that a basketball and a trombone on his couch?
Yeah.
both there. Like, why are they
Why?
both there?
That was pretty.
I don't know. He likes basketball and trombones. I don't know.
At the same time? Like,
How do you, I don't even try. When the little girl was in the crow's apartment and she's like, oh, forget you. You don't care about me anyways. And then you get like the massive spotlight backlight of his shadow hitting the wall. He's like, I do care about you. I was like, dude.
oh
That-
my
That
god.
reminds me, I did not like her character.
No, I
I
didn't like her.
didn't
No.
like her acting. I didn't like her, just anything about her. I thought she was so annoying. And every time she was on screen, I was like, oh.
Kid
Like,
actors,
just,
hit or miss. They're doing their
But
best.
it's not just like, you can have a bad actor and you're like a bad kid actor and you're like, whatever. But this one was just like, it wasn't just
I
the
don't
acting,
really
it was her writing.
think, like,
it was
anyone's
everything
performance
about
really
her.
blew me away though. I wasn't at all like, wow, this person's performance.
I really like the main bad guy's performance.
Really?
Yes.
I thought
He felt super like just out of this world and like superior to everyone else.
You missed it, but Rochelle just like shook her head really aggressively back and forth when Brandon said that.
I agree.
That's okay. You know, we all have likes and dislikes, but
I mean, everyone else's opinion is wrong other than mine, but you know.
his little like words of wisdom near the end was actually kind of cool. It's just like, you know, you're kind of neat. You know, you're pretty cool, but you know, you shouldn't have messed with me, but I messed with you, so I mean, I kind of get it. Like that's the way he kind of said it. And I was
Yeah.
like, okay. And the crow's just like, I'm gonna freaking kill you.
Feel my pain.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
But that little girl, and I think I pointed it out right at the start, like she always had a skateboard in her hand, and that actress did not know how to skateboard because every time it would be like show her like walking with the skateboard, then it would cut to like her feet, and then she'd start skateboarding away, but like away from the camera with her hood up, so you couldn't see her, and I was like, that's not the same. That's not the kid. That's someone else.
It could have been, but it could have been.
I
know, pretty-
I don't think
Pretty
so.
unlikely. Yeah. Oh gosh. I'm just like I'm going through the whole movie again in my head. And I'm just trying to think of anything that's like super.
I
outrageous.
actually kind of enjoyed the cinematography, like the lighting, the red, the colors they used, especially in like the flashbacks. I don't know. I really enjoyed it.
It was a little much for me in the flashback sequences, to be honest.
The best is when he's playing the guitar on the roof and it's
Yes.
red.
Oh,
and he's
like the sunset.
He's backlit and he's all like silhouetted with like the rage guitar moment.
Mm-hmm.
That seemed kind of weird. Like it reminded me of like those old Hollywood kind of sets where they would paint a big backdrop and then
where the
have, like,
rocks weren't real.
Yeah.
They were just styrofoam.
yeah, like that's what it like. It was cool, but it also kind of gave me that kind of
Yeah.
old Hollywood.
But that's like such a cool vibe.
set.
That's also
I
why
mean,
it felt
yeah.
very Tim Burton-y. Like
Yeah.
nothing felt real, you know what I mean?
But that's the whole point. Nothing felt real,
No.
right?
Yeah.
Not the acting, nothing. And that's again, I
Even
think
the
that
world, like the city that they were
Exactly.
in, like it was just so dark.
because
all the
nothing
time.
felt real, it felt like it worked in and of itself, like in its own microcosm of a movie.
Was it ever daytime?
No.
Yeah, it was.
No.
It was. There was the morning where the mom was cooking the eggs
Yes.
for the daughter,
That's right.
You're right.
and then there was also in the office, as well.
Wasn't he also at the end at the grave, kind of during day when
don't think
his
so.
girl or his fiance walks up?
No, that was nighttime.
That was nighttime.
But yeah, the only daytime would be those two.
Interesting.
scenes. And
Yeah.
it was kind of jarring when it happened too, because it was daytime. I'm like, this could literally be a different movie because it just felt so I don't know. It felt misplaced a little bit because the entire movie had been like a rainy night.
Mm-hmm.
It felt
scene.
weird when it wasn't raining.
Yeah.
Okay, but here's a question. What is the crow doing during the day?
He's doing what Batman does.
Being Bruce Wayne?
Yeah.
Yeah, but the crow
I don't know. He's just
he's just like sitting in his broken apartment burning pictures. Like,
honestly. Yes. Or he'd be sitting on a park bench feeding birds.
hanging out with his crow.
I can.
So that should be another movie. But it's like it like fits into this movie like a puzzle piece, and it's all the daytime things that happen in between. And it's just the crow like
The
chilling.
It's called The Crow During the Daytime.
Yeah.
Mid-afternoon.
Yeah.
That's what it's called. Yeah. Riley, do you have any fun facts for us? I saw you were doing a little bit of some research before we started here.
Well, guys, I hate to tell you this, but this movie is cursed.
What?
Yeah, that's right.
What do you mean?
No.
Yeah. I would say, like, at the very beginning, it's been cursed because apparently there were major budget cuts on this movie. Like, major.
How major?
Like, it apparently is a shoestring budget, which I don't know what that means, but I'm going to assume if you look at a shoestring, it's very thin. So, not a lot of money went into this movie, and some of it shows. Some of it shows, for sure.
I mean, sure, yeah.
Yeah, it has its moments. They shot most of this movie at night, and apparently one night there was a hurricane,
Oh.
and it actually destroyed parts of the set.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and there was quite a few accidents on set with the crew One person actually fell off a ladder. Another person screwdrived somehow their hand. And some people were driving and somehow drove into like wires or something that were like low hanging.
How does that happen?
I don't know, honestly. I don't really know how any of this happens. But yeah, these were some of the cursed moments, but
And somebody died.
yeah, there was a very cursed moment.
Very
That-
tragic.
Very tragic. I don't know, Justin, do you want to say what happened?
Well, I only know a little bit about it, but this movie is infamously known for the actor dying, the main actor dying, apparently on screen. But I don't think it's a very quick sequence.
Did we actually see it?
I think we might have. I'm not too sure. Like I'd have to like look it up again.
He
but
didn't die on screen. He was shot.
But
But
do we
he
actually
died later.
see him get shot on the screen? Like actually get shot?
I don't know.
I'd
I
have
don't
to
know
look
if that
it
was
up.
the take they used or whatever, but I mean,
Yeah.
you'd think that they wouldn't do another take after.
Oh yeah.
Well, no, I'm just saying maybe there was. I guess maybe there was only one take. Maybe I don't
I don't
know.
know. Or even if they used the shot or what, but
In one of the flashback sequences when his home was being invaded, he walks in and one of the invaders shoots a gun at him. Apparently, there was a legitimate bullet in it. It wasn't shrapnel, it was a legitimate bullet. So I don't know how that was, inserted into that during the scene.
but didn't he die later?
Oh, he died later. Yeah.
Like the next day or whatever, right?
Right.
But it was because of that. It was okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was like, because I know you hear of accidents happening where it's like something small and like they think it's something small and they're like, oh, it's okay, and then they die later because of it. And this was like actually he was shot and everyone was like, holy shit, he got shot, rush him to the hospital kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was reading it, they said that was due to negligence, partially. That's what they think, and also due to budget cuts and not like cutting procedures.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. Like, how do you miss a bullet being in a gun?
Dude.
But
How would a-
also, like, we've seen this, like, literally a couple years ago or a year ago.
It was around like 2 years ago.
Yeah, with the whole Alec Baldwin thing. So, it's not like,
Again, another movie that had a pretty small budget.
yeah, and maybe there was a bit of negligence there, but
If you have guns on your set, please get a professional. Check the guns.
or just
clean the
don't
guns.
use real guns. Honestly,
true.
you don't even need to anymore. There's so much out there.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's pretty crazy. Also, I read that they were thinking about Johnny Depp playing that role.
Oh man.
So
could
could
see
you
it.
imagine?
I could see that.
But though, could you imagine if that actually did happen, and then
Oh,
how
it was
that would
him.
have changed, like obviously his whole life, but
Mm-hmm.
like yeah,
Incredible. Yeah, it's crazy to think about. Yeah, I think on crazy movies like that, because there was quite a lot of stunts. There was like, running on rooftops and there was driving cars and stuff. Like, you gotta have a really good solid team to make sure that safety's up to par because as you say, this movie was cursed. Well, budget cuts and just people not supervising and making sure that everything's safe. So
I mean,
Man.
we've all been on a set where they've cut positions, had to run smaller staff because of budget cuts.
dude,
And
but
it, you know,
safety?
like that's tough. Like when you're working those long days and you're tired and you're making mistakes because you either don't hire the right people because they cost too much, even though maybe they're the people that you should hire, or you're just like, oh well, we gotta cut people because we gotta save money on these labor costs or whatever. So I don't know, but there are a couple other theories as to why things may have happened the way they did, but I don't know what to believe, honestly.
Yeah, these bigger budget movies. Like, I'm excited to work on one if I eventually do. But yeah, I'm sure we're all gonna understand that frick, time is money and you gotta be really, really careful with your expenses and all that. So maybe we'll get there one day.
Maybe
Yeah.
not there.
Maybe not there specifically.
No.
Maybe on our own terms,
Yeah.
you know? be in control of the whole operation.
Yeah.
We'll cut everybody, you know,
Except us?
except
So what we do now,
But with more
but with
money.
more money.
here's a $4 million budget. Okay, how many cameras can we buy with that? If we just cut everybody else and it's just us. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't need people to run the equipment. We just need equipment, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
We're trained to use it all. We
Yeah.
just need it.
Story of our lives.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think it's that time of the evening, everybody. It's time to give our review.
This is honestly probably one of the hardest movies that I've thought to review.
Oh yeah, one of the hardest movies, am I
Yeah,
right?
it's so fucking metal, bro. Yeah. No, but in all seriousness, like I really enjoyed it, but it's one of those things that's like, do I rate it higher because I enjoyed it, even though it might not have been a quote unquote good movie or fantastic movie, just because I enjoyed it. But fuck it, this is my own personal rating, right? I don't give a shit what anyone else thinks. I'll rate it at how I enjoyed it, right? That's fair.
No,
I don't need to go, oh, the cinematography, this out of this. I can just go like, this movie, I enjoyed it, this number, right?
Well,
Here's
each
the
episode is we rate it out of everyone's rating it out of something different.
Yeah.
So
I guess it doesn't really matter. So our
Yeah.
numbers don't matter either.
No.
no,
I don't
because
think
no
it
one's on
matters.
the scale.
My
Because
whole life's a
nobody
lie.
really
Cares?
No one is keeping score. Here's the thing. The way I go into this and the way I give these reviews is, did I like the movie? That's my scale. Is it the most professionally well shot, well acted, whatever? Okay, I don't really care about that. I care
It's personal
I-
enjoyment.
personal enjoyment. Was I
okay.
entertained?
So I'll rate it off of my personal enjoyment then.
Okay. You want to come back? You want someone else to come back to you?
No, I've started every one of these. I'm gonna start this one.
All right. Hold on, everyone. Oh, is there a fly in here? Rochelle, watch out for the fly. Get out of here. It's get out. Probably it's near your
Okay,
head.
I got it.
Oh,
Oh
got
my
it.
god.
I
I'm
got it.
gonna give it 7.5. Totally real skateboarding kids out of 10.
That's a pretty good one. I like that. Now I got to think about my rating. Okay, well, most of the problems we have with our rating is we have the number, but we need the system. We need the sort of like out of whatever. I'm gonna give it 7. I really wish he impaled someone with his guitar out of 10. Yeah, seriously. He grabbed the guitar out of the pawn shop. I'm just like, please just kill somebody with it. And he doesn't.
Yeah, it would have been cool to, or if you like sharpened it like an axe, and then was like playing a sick riff, and then just like.
Or if you like
axe the guy.
sharpen the end to make it like
A
pokey.
spear?
Yeah, a spear.
He hits someone with it, and then he goes, and then
Yeah.
he dies.
As he's like hitting them with the
Impaling
axe,
it.
he's like
He's
playing
like
a sick
playing
riff.
it with them.
That'd be insane.
That would be so cool.
Yeah.
We should do that.
We should do it. Write that down.
Right there, yeah.
You're up.
I would give it 6.5 blood pukey gargoyles out of 10.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I must say the writing was the one part that really needed some work for me, but the character of the crow, pretty cool.
Yeah.
And the overall world, I do like it. It has a very Tim Burton-esque. So I feel like it works in the realm, but just like listening to some of the things they said, I was just like, what? And it's just hard to get back into it sometimes because you're just like, I can't listen to this.
All right, now Rochelle's review, everyone. Brace yourselves.
It's not gonna be that okay. I'll give it a. I don't know. I'll give it a 5.
Are you being generous?
Well, see, it wasn't like a terrible movie, you know, but I didn't particularly like enjoy it.
I see.
I'd give it 5 fluffy white cats out of 10.
It's a good one.
I've really enjoyed the cat which is kind of saying a lot being a dog person. So
It was a
That-
very cute cat, though.
it was.
It's a good cat.
Gabriel.
Yeah, it's a good
name.
name for a cat. Yeah.
So that was probably one of my more favorite parts. Was the cat?
Whenever the cat was on screen. What happened to the cat? The cat ate a hot dog and then it just never showed up again.
Yeah.
No, maybe the cat went
Maybe the
and
girl
chased.
adopted it.
Wait,
Ooh,
maybe.
full circle moment. Let's go. So basically, the animals are what you liked.
No, the cat.
You didn't like the crow or the
You
raven?
didn't like the cat?
No, I like the cat. I like the cat.
You just said you didn't like
No,
the cat.
I
No,
said
she
the
liked the cat,
not
but she
the-
didn't like the raven.
meh.
Yeah. That was a struggle.
Wow.
It's after hours, guys.
It is after hours. Hey, check your time. Oh, it's after hours.
Oof.
And it's bedtime. Go to bed. We're going to bed. And have yourselves a good
Are
one.
you going to bed?
Am I going to bed? Dude, it's late. Here's the thing. Yeah, it's late. It's bedtime. Thanks for joining us, everybody.
Justin's gonna be up in his bed, just laying there,
I'm not.
watching videos on YouTube.
Good one. Just a good save.
I wasn't gonna say anything else. Didn't want to get weird.
Oh, no.
Oh no, Rochelle, say a word.
Synonym.
Why are we doing this?
Oh, I thought you were gonna say cinnamon. Cinnamon?
Synonym.
Cinnamon?
Synonym.
Does anyone ever
Cinnamon.
say that?
What?
Cinnamon?
Cinnamon.
Hey,
No.
hey Bradman, can we keep this?
Oh, what about seasoning?
Sorry.
Bradman just fell over. He
I
just
thought
fell
he
over.
was gonna take out the whole fork, guys.
Bradman, are you okay? Are you still going?
Did he cut?
Wait, Bradman?
Cut the mic.
Bradman?